Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. Sorry for being late. I was just finishing my pre-dinner snack. You know, you gotta enjoy those moments. You have to. I've got crackers all over my mouth, but yeah. First of all, how was Christmas? It was great. It was great. I ain't gonna lie. The older you get, the less Christmassy these Christmases feel. But it was incredible. You know, I love this period of the year, and it's always great to spend time eating, opening gifts, spending time with the family. So yeah, how was everybody's Christmas? First of all, I hope everybody's Christmas went well. Now, yeah, I mean, you can read it from the title. You've probably understood it from what you've been reading on Twitter, from what you've been reading online about Roma being very close in signing Bonucci, and this signing being almost imminent now. I already said how I feel about this, and I'm going to mention this again because it's stronger than me. You know, it's more powerful than me. Seeing Bonucci wear this kit is it's disastrous to my eyes. So I am gonna complain because I don't like this move. But I have also kind of spent more time reflecting on this, and I have definitely created a balance graph. There's a few positive sides. Overall, I'd say that the negatives outweigh the positives, but there are a few positives about this deal. You know, we can't just be pessimistic because we don't like the deal. We gotta look at the realistic side of it. And as much of I'm gonna say it's a deal where you have more negatives than positives. There are a few positives. So I am definitely gonna mention this in today's stream. But before delving into the juicy part of this and speaking about the positives, the negatives, looking and having a broader angle of this deal, overall, do I accept it? Do I not accept it? There is a little breaking news, because as much as we're talking about an imminent move and we are talking about a done deal, there is a breaking news coming your way that I have read literally 20 minutes ago. It has come out 20 minutes ago. And the breaking news is very simple. The breaking news is that Roma's waiting, and that Roma is taking a few hours to actually understand and reflect upon themselves if they want to complete this deal. So in other words, in these last couple of minutes, there has been a little slow down, deceleration when it comes to Bonucci wearing the Roma kit and becoming a new Roma player. If I'm being honest with you, I think that we are going to make this deal happen because we are dumb, and that we've shown that we are dumb in past transfer sessions, and that the fact that we never learn from our mistakes. I just feel like, yes, there's a little deceleration in these last couple of minutes, and Roma, Pinto, Dan, Jose have all decided to take a few moments to just, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this, or do I not want to do this? And then I think that by tomorrow morning we will know if Roma is up to completing this deal or not. It's very important to say that this deal is going to happen if Roma decide to make it happen. You know, this little deceleration that has happened in these last minutes is all because of Roma. It's not because the deal has become more complicated. It's not because Bonucci is asking for a higher salary. It's not because Union Berlin don't want to sell him anymore. Union Berlin want to sell him, Bonucci wants to come, and Bonucci is willing to decrease his salary. Add all of things up, it's all on us. This little stop in this deal is all because of Roma's reflection, and they are taking time to actually understand if they want to complete this. Because look, they know that this deal is very unpopular between Roma fans and amongst us. They know this. You know, the Fredkins know that 90% of Roma fans don't want Bonucci in their team. And I'm sure if you have Instagram, if you have Twitter, I'm sure you can get a grasp of this. Roma fans don't want this deal to happen. Roma fans despise Bonucci. Roma fans hate him. Roma fans wanted to, I've seen a few comments on Instagram. It makes you want to laugh. This is a very unpopular move between Roma fans. To an extent that I'm actually very curious to see if this deal goes through, how the atmosphere and how the ambience will react to this. You know, I am very curious to see if Bonucci signs for Roma, to see how the stadium reacts when the speaker announces his name, or even when maybe he scores a goal. I am very, very, very curious to see this. One thing is certain: if a deal is unpopular amongst the fans, it's also going to be a deal where Bonucci has a lot of responsibility. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because the deal is very unpopular, that the fans are going to act as if it's a scapegoat type of deal, in a sense that Bonucci, let's say Bonucci plays a game and let's say Bonucci makes a mistake, you know, Roma fans are going to use all of the unpopularity of this deal to hate on Bonucci even more than what they would if Mancini makes that mistake. And that's why this deal, you know, he himself has a massive responsibility and pressure on this. He does, because he knows that the little mistake he makes, these fans are going to act as a scapegoat towards him. No, sorry, he is going to act as a scapegoat towards the fans because he's unpopular. The fans don't want him. If he makes a mistake, it's extremely normal for the fans to turn against him even more than what they would if it's a normal player. But again, despite this little deceleration that has happened in these last minutes, but I do think we are going to overcome this. Not necessarily I want this over, I don't necessarily want us to overcome this deceleration. You know, I'm normally very frustrated when deals collapse or when deals slow down. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm actually happy if this deal collapses. I really am. I do not want this deal. I've mentioned this already, but I am gonna mention this again. This is a deal which to me makes no sense. This is a deal which to me not only doesn't make sense, but it shows me that we really don't have a clue of where we are bringing this project to. And it suggests to me that the ownership and the manager don't communicate to each other, because it cannot be possible. And when I say it can't be possible, I mean this. It cannot physically be possible that when Mourinho signs his contract, this is an imminent success project. Let's buy quick players. Let's buy fit players. Let's buy, ready players to have immediate success. That's effectively what Mourinho signed for. That's the project that introduced Mourinho to his new Roma experience. Then 2.5 years after, Mourinho in a post-match goes, well, maybe it's time to switch things around. Maybe it's time to start something new. Maybe it's start to refresh things and avoid buying deadwood. And then 1 week later, we're interested in signing and we're about to end the 36-year-old Bonucci deal. When I mean incoherence at its max, I fully mean this. This is the definition of an ownership, which is, first of all, being incoherent, and second of all, a project which, even to us, and even to our owners, and even to our manager, makes no sense. Because you can't... Yeah, it makes no sense to me. I've already complained about this. I don't want to repeat all of this. I don't like this deal. Second of all, I've mentioned this last time. He's a dickhead. He's been a dickhead against us. He has been a dickhead against us. This guy has celebrated in front of our fucking faces, going like that 70,000 times. He is the definition of a dickhead. And look, I always say this. You need these players in your team. Yes, you do. Look at Mancini. Look at Ramos. Look at Pepe. Look at Bonucci. You need these players. But frankly speaking, with all due respect, a player who basically grew up with Juventus blood, who has spat Juventus antagonism all throughout his career, a player who has disrespected this team, who is celebrated in front of our fans and our eyes, and adding to the fact that he's 36 years old and that his career is done, Why are we signing him? Why are we signing him? It makes no sense. Again, I've seen people on Twitter or Instagram. I can't remember. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I've seen people go, well, if you signed Lukaku, why would you oppose the Bonucci signing? And that to me that to me makes no sense. Why are fans even saying this? Lukaku wasn't a problem to me. Lukaku was a problem to Inter. You know, Lukaku was a problem to Inter, and Lukaku is a traitor, betrayer, and all of that. He betrayed Inter. He didn't disrespect my team. I don't care if Lukaku disrespected Inter and joined us. You know, I really, really, really don't. That's an Inter problem. Bonucci has been fucking a human scrotum against us. I don't want him. So you can't compare Lukaku and Bonucci. You just can't compare. It's like saying, oh, well, if 2 plus 1 is 3, why is 1 plus 2 3 as well? Yeah, it's just, it makes no sense. Now, there are positives. There are positives. There are positives. I don't want to be biased and say that there aren't positives on this deal. There are positives. You know, 100% there are positives. And I agree with people who outweigh maybe not outweigh, but I agree with people who are making these positives known and seen, because there are positives in this. The biggest positive is the fact that I am in no position doubting the fact that he will bring a ton of experience and a ton of leadership in this team. I am no one to doubt that, and I am not gonna doubt one, because doubting that would be not knowing anything about this game. Bonucci has been a competitor. I agree, Jordan. I agree. I fully agree that he's been a competitor, but he's also been a dickhead. And saying that Bonucci hasn't been a dickhead against us, you've never seen that game which Juventus robbed in front of our eyes, back with Garcia, Iturbe, Gervinho, Totti at the Juventus stadium. Have you seen Bonucci in that game? Yes, he's a competitor, but he's also been a dickhead against us. But I do agree. He will bring, and if this deal goes through, he will bring a massive leadership. He will be respected. He will be respected without a doubt. And look, by the way, can I just say one thing? If he signs for us, I'm going to support him, because that's what fans should do. You know, yes, I know that the majority of Roma fans don't want this deal to happen. But can I please ask everybody here who goes to the stadium or doesn't go to the stadium, if you're against this deal like me, respect you. But if this deal goes through, please respect the guy. Because when these players become Roma players, you gotta respect them. No matter if they were coming from Lazio or not. The second a player wears a Roma kit and a Roma jersey and that badge, you have to respect him. So if he scores a goal in the derby and goes like that in front of Lazio fans, of course I will celebrate. Of course I will. But I will support this deal, and I will support Bonucci. I definitely won't boo him at the stadium if this deal goes through. But what I'm trying to give to this video is a sense of realism. We're in 2024. We have a team full of injuries. We have a lack of project identity, and we are interested in signing a 36 years old. You know, I know that we have difficulties in transfer windows. I know that our choices are restricted. But come on, we can be better than this. We can definitely pick a better player than Bonucci, younger player than Bonucci. We definitely can. I'm not saying it's impossible now that FFP is against us. No. So of course I will support him the second he becomes a Roma player. But deep down, I will never support this deal. I will never support this move. Because it makes no sense. He's a scrap at Union Berlin. The second he joined Milan, he's never been the same. And also, another massive thing about Bonucci is that when Chiellini isn't next to him, Bonucci is half the player he is. You know, Bonucci's career has been a massive career because of two men which were around him, defending with him. Chiellini number one, Barzagli number two. If Bonucci didn't have Chiellini and Barzagli next to him for his entire career, Bonucci would be nobody today. And especially if Bonucci hadn't had Chiellini next to him in Euro 2020, we would not have won that Euro. With that being said, his mentality is big and he is a leader. And I know, as a matter of fact, because people have told me this, that the majority of the Roma team is favouring this deal. You know, a lot of our players played with him during the Euro campaign. You look at Cristante, Mancini and Bonucci are, you know, seeing Mancini and Bonucci play in the same team is something which, if somebody would have told us 3 years ago, we would have literally gone, in what multiverse do you live? Mancini and Bonucci together will be a defensive partnership, if it does happen, that nobody wants to play against, because they are both that dickhead duo and all of that. Pellegrini, Dybala used to play with him at Juventus. When Dybala left Juventus, Bonucci was the one who kind of pushed him on that centre pitch to say thank you to Juventus fans. You know, Bonucci has meant a lot to Dybala's career. Paredes, he played with Paredes last season at Juventus. This is a deal which is very popular. And obviously, the biggest person who wants him is Mourinho. This is a signing specifically asked by Mourinho. We will remember where Mourinho once said Bonucci and Chiellini could take a class at Harvard and teach them how to defend. Mourinho is a massive admirer of Bonucci, and Bonucci is a massive admirer of Mourinho. So, yeah, do I think this deal would have happened if Mourinho wasn't our manager? No, I don't, because I definitely think this is a deal which has been favoured by Mourinho. But yeah, look, there is a little deceleration, as I've said at the start. The breaking news is that now in these next couple of hours, Roma's going to reflect on this. Because they know that if they say yes, Bonucci can be in Rome tomorrow. So they're taking a time to reflect on this. Do I want to close this deal or not? Because I know I can, but I also know that if I end this deal, will I have complications in signing younger defenders? And I've said this in the last video. If we sign Bonucci and we don't sign a young defender, get Thiago Pinto and just get him from his ear and drag him out of this club. I've respected a lot of deals that Thiago Pinto has signed, and I've also said many times how Thiago Pinto has been terrible at deals. If I get Bonucci as well as a young defender, is a different situation to just getting Bonucci. And if we only get Bonucci, just wait and see what happens. So, okay, we get Bonucci, but I need a young defender as well. Will that defender, buying a new defender as well as Bonucci means ending Renato Sanchez's contract? Do it. Do it now. Do it tomorrow morning. Do it tonight. Would buying a younger defender as well as Bonucci mean ending Spinazzola's contract and sending him to Saudi Arabia? Do it tonight. We need to start clearing the scraps out of this team. And hopefully in the future, not getting more scraps like Bonucci. The manager wants him. The manager gets him. I don't like this deal. I will support this deal if it goes through. And we shall see if it goes through. And then the last thing is, the reason Bonucci wants to come back to Italy and leave Union Berlin is very simple. He wants to play the Euros. He wants to play the Euros. So he wants to play in Italy. Spalletti has told him that, Spalletti has specifically told him, if you want to have a chance in the Euros to get a call up, you got to play in Italy. So he's favouring this move, and his agent is favouring it. So he's technically using us to get to the Euros. Yeah, that's effectively it. And you can see that as a positive because, going to the Euros means that he needs to give his 150% in every single game he plays. So that could favour his, I need to prove every single Roma fan which is doubting me and doesn't want me wrong. I need to prove Spalletti that I want and I need to be the starting defender in that Euro 2024. Mix that with Bonucci's mentality and leadership, something great could come out. But that doesn't cancel the fact that he's a scrap of Union Berlin, he's 36 years old, and that in a few months he won't be able to run anymore. Yeah. Hopefully Renato gets terminated. Hopefully. 100%. No, Simon, you're wrong. If the boards gave Mourinho a younger defender like Ndika, we would have chosen that, so no chance. Mate, I can tell you as a matter of fact, this is a signing which is 100% being requested by Mourinho. I know that as a matter of fact because I've been told that. Believe that or not, I don't care, but I can guarantee you this is a signing which Mourinho wants. Yannick, thank you very much for the €6. What about Chalobah or Kerrer as an additional option at centre back? Both are very physical Premier League defender. I would love them both. I'd love Chalobah and Bonucci together. I wouldn't only like Bonucci. Look, if Pinto gets me Bonucci and one between Chalobah and Kerrer, I have to be honest with you, I'll give him an applause. But genuinely, we just can't. If we only sign Bonucci, I swear on God, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Fine, but we need to get somebody else. We need to get somebody else. Ideally, we need to get Bonucci by the 1st of January and somebody else later on so that we can replace Ndika and put leverage on that Smalling absentee. Smalling, by the way, hopefully Smalling will be back soon. I mean, what is happening with Smalling? I have no idea. A lot of mixed reviews in the chat. So yeah, it's a mixed. Yes, it's a mixed. There are more no's than yes. There are negatives that outweigh the positives, but it would be biased of me to say that it's just a terrible move. In terms of leadership and charisma and experience, I think Bonucci can bring a lot. In terms of the fitness level, I don't think he can. But we shall see if something gets unlocked in these next couple of hours. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be back after Christmas. Tomorrow, we are going to speak about the Juventus game. Massive game. Match preview. Juventus against Turin. I will be there in Turin. So, yeah, great weekend coming ahead. Don't forget to smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Yannick, thank you again for the €6, and thanks everybody for tuning in and supporting the channel as always. Hit the like, subscribe, it takes 2 seconds and it supports us a lot. And yeah, talk to you soon. Let me know in the comments what you think, and let's see if something happens. I don't know. A lot of people are saying it's an imminent move nowadays. See you out.